This is a new boat from a collaboration between Spencer and Albemarle, and it is a really neat boat, and I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview. So she's a sleek beauty, as you guys can see, built in Edenton, North Carolina at the Albemarle factory. This was literally the biggest boat that Albemarle could build given the size of their laminating facility. This is hull number 1 of the new Albemarle Spencer collaboration. She'll be based out of North Carolina, and she was built in North Carolina. Now the cockpit on this boat is pretty much a beauty. The owner of this boat, hull number 1, wanted a completely flat floor and didn't want any hatches in it. He's going to be using this boat mostly for bill fishing, and so his specific criteria was he wanted a flat floor that would drain really fast and really well, and he wanted a big fish hold that passes what the folks at Albemarle call the 5-gallon test, 5-gallon drum test, which means you can literally drop a 5-gallon drum in there straight down. It's wide enough. This one has freshwater rinse here, sink, and nice little external Bluetooth audio controller for the stereo, so you can pair it up out here. Twin refrigerator units underneath the seats, controlled here. On the mezzanine, seats come right up. And we have a refrigerated hold here, freezer here. An interesting feature with this hold, which is an ice box. So this boat has a 500-pound ice maker, and ice will literally dump. When you put ice in here, it will literally dump down into the lower ice hold as well. So it comes from above and goes down below. So it's just an exceedingly clean rear deck for fighting fish. And this is all teak, by the way. And obviously you note beautiful detail lighting as well. This is a production boat, but it's what they really call a semi-custom because there are a ton of options. If you want live wells, you can get live wells back here. If you want a big hatch in the floor to access the engine or to use for additional fish holds, you can have them cut additional hatches in the floor. This owner just didn't want them. Let's check out the interior. So moving to the interior, obviously beautifully well lit machine. This boat has walnut trim. Other trims are available, but this one has walnuts. You can pick out the veneers, you can pick out fabrics, and you can pick out the carpet on this production boat. This one has fixed stools down there. This boat also has an ottoman. They didn't include it for the show just because they didn't want it getting in the way, but there's a full ability to have a nice size sleeping space here as well. And you can also option it with a table here. So, and these lift, the whole seat lifts, both of them, for big storage. Really did a good job of maximizing space on this boat. I would point out too on the back here, I pointed out the sink here, you can also do an electric grill as an option. The owner opted for an ice maker and a nice bar, slide out. These are obviously configurable any way that you would like. There's more storage underneath the seats here as well. The control panel, very well labeled, and everything is very easily accessible. There's a Seakeeper module down there as well. Now, a cool feature, this boat actually has 4 air conditioning units, if you can believe that, that are driven by a, in this case, 21,000 kilowatt or 21 kilowatt generator, and they pick some creative ways to stash things like the air conditioning units. In this case, there's one of them right there on the satellite controls. Nicely hidden. Step down for the galley. You might think, well, where is my cooking surface? Well, your cooking surface is right here. Again, done to maximize space. Nice granite cutting boards for a Kenyon 2-burner stovetop. You can also have an induction unit put in. This one's not an induction unit. The cabinets all feature, let's see if this one will open. Oh, there we go, sorry. Cabinets all feature pull-out drawers, all of them. And this one has a pair of refrigerator freezer units right here, and they're facing sternward so that if they accidentally were to come open, they're not going to come open while the boat's underway and spill all of your food. Again, nice touch. As I said, this boat has 4 air conditioners, multiple climate controls. Now, another thing I like about this is it's got this is the first of 3 staterooms. Obviously it's small, it's a 53-foot boat, but again, it makes really good use of its space. And one of the ways that this boat also makes really good use of its space is, rather than stuffing everything into the engine room, they created a separate room for a lot of the systems in here, including water pumps, water filtration. So you can get to all of this without having to go into the heated engine room. And it's all exceptionally, as you can see, well laid out. And it's not very hot in here. That's a pretty neat feature. Little mini pull-out closet with hangers. Now the owner of this boat opted to only go with one bunk in here. You can also take this cabinet space and create a second bunk with it. Another option for this space, rather than the cabinetry, which again is quite nice and spacious and beautifully grained, you can do a stackable washer dryer unit here as well, which I believe the Albemarle folks told me hull number 2 will be doing. This is the head for the two staterooms, two outer staterooms. Interestingly, this is a single mold. The entire head is done from a single mold, and that's done in-house at Albemarle by Albemarle. Master and master head, again another single molded unit done in-house by Albemarle. Now there's a lot of storage again in this room, in the forward stateroom as well. These double as rod lockers if needed, the forward cabinets. Now and another feature that I thought was pretty neat in terms of maximizing space, hopefully I can actuate this. The bed goes up. You don't have to take anything off of it. To reveal another air conditioning unit for the forward area, and then a nice deep storage area. There's a nice deep storage area down there as well, another one, which I think again is just pretty cool. And there are nice deeply recessed drawers up here as well. We'll put that down later. So this boat is a big unit for Albemarle, whose previous big boat was a 41. It's a small boat for Spencer Yachts, who's now building, you know, boats in the 70-80 foot range. But I did a great interview with the folks from Albemarle and Paul Spencer today. And the idea was, well, let's collaborate on something that's smaller, is highly functional, that will really fish well, will handle seas, and it can be built as a semi-custom production boat that both Albemarle and Paul Spencer can be proud of. So the engine room is accessed by a nifty hinge on the bench next to the two refrigerators. I'm going to climb down and show it to you. Now again, this, because what you see is a lot of flat floor space, you could add hatches underneath the floor, and but this one instead was designed to hold the seakeeper and to give really excellent access to mechanical elements, rudder controls. Obviously the seakeeper's right here, valves are right there, ready to be actuated or unactuated as the case may be. Very clean and very well lit. And I can walk by crouching. Now these are the twin 1600 horsepower MTU units, and these are sizable. Now I am almost 6 feet tall and can just stand in this engine room and my head touches the ceiling, but it's not, it doesn't feel enormously cramped. This boat is capable of something on the range of 46 knots with these motors pushing it. It can also be had with twin cats that are not quite as powerful, but these are the beasts. And again, that's a 21 kW generator back in here. It's actually quite remarkable how accessible everything is in here, considering how big these motors are. Here is the helm, and it is a beauty. It is driven, this one is driven by a pair of 22-inch Garmin screens. You can also get a three Garmin screen setup that allows you to have a dedicated omnisonar, a dedicated screen for the omnisonar. There is also twin controls for the MTU engines and another sonar screen control there. Outrigger controls. Beautiful seats from Release Marine. Beautiful. Beautifully crafted railing work. The view through the protected plastic on here is obviously spectacular, and it's really windy tonight in Fort Lauderdale, and you can still hear me talking, so these things are at least doing their job. Down, this one has a Sirius audio system, massive subwoofer. Under the seat here is an actual thermostatically controlled refrigerator, which is a really nice touch. Very comfortable fly bridge. The helm station trim is actual teak as well. Faux teak on the floors.